government and saying that we are proud because it's government, it stays with government, and it does not really benefit the people. So what are we doing? What are we doing? All these issues of privatization have only been brought about because these state agencies are actually not performing the way they're supposed to perform. So the conversation that we should have is not whether this belongs to the people, someone gave land to the government. Okay, let them be compensated so that now we can make sure that the state agencies are there to benefit the people of that community. Mr. Speaker, it pains me that every time we debate, we want to localize the issue. Okay, yes, politics is local, but economics is about profits. So if a state agency or an institution is not bringing any profits to the people of that community, then we have to have the hard conversation, and the hard conversation is that we need to do something, and if that means that we need to privatize it, let us talk about the parameters of how we are going to privatize the agency. Otherwise, coming here and fighting and say, don't do this, don't sell this particular, that's fine. But what are we going to do to ensure that all these state agencies, be it the sugar companies, be it, as I said, agencies such as the KICC, be it, you know, whatever state agency that is there, let us have a conversation, an honest conversation on how those state agencies are profitable and how they are actually benefiting the people of that community. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next order. Order number 8, motion, consolidation of bursary funds for equitable access to education in Kenya. Resumption of debate interrupted on Wednesday, 7th May 2025, morning sitting. Question to be proposed. Honorable Senators, take your seat. I need to propose the question. Honorable Senators, this motion had been moved and seconded, and now I need to propose the question. Now, Honorable Senators, there's a difference between proposing the question and putting the question. So I will propose the question, that aware that pursuant to Article 53 of the Constitution, every child in Kenya is entitled to free and compulsory basic education, and the Basic Education Act provides the basic education should be guided by principles such as equitable access to all youth and equal access to education or institutions. Further, that aware that many students in secondary schools and higher education institutions come from financially disadvantaged backgrounds, making it difficult for them to afford school fees and access education opportunities. Noting that over the years, various interventions have been made, including the issuance of bursaries through the National Government Constituency Development Fund, the National Government Affirmative Action Fund, the Ministry of Education and county governments through various county bursary funds, concerned that despite these efforts, school fees remain unaffordable for many parents, and the allocation of bursaries has been plagued by nepotism, favoritism, and political manipulation, and lack of transparency and accountability. Further, concerned that public learning institutions are primarily funded by the government through the Ministry of Education, and in the financial year 2024-2025, approximately 656 billion was allocated to the education sector, making it difficult to ascertain the specific funds granted to each student, and that the lack of transparency in the disbursements of bursaries from various agencies makes it difficult to determine the total amount allocated in a financial year, thus hindering efforts to ensure equitable access to education for financially disadvantaged students. Now, therefore, the Senate urges the Ministry of Education to do the following. 1, audit the funds allocated to bursaries by both the national government and the county governments. 2, consolidate the funds distributed by various government entities and agencies with the aim of directing these funds directly to schools as supplementary capitation to facilitate the achievement of free secondary education. And 3, calculate the cost of education per learner and make this information public for primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions, including a detailed background of the annual financial requirements for each student across the county. Now the floor is open for debate. Senator Fernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank Senator Karungo Adhangwa, the miracle senator from Kiambu, for this proposal. Mr. Speaker, I am aware there is an ongoing public participation by members of the National Assembly on the importance of entrenching the NGAV and Senate Oversight Fund. Mr. Speaker, the bait that public participation is being used is that if NCCDF or NGAV is entrenched, then bursary will be available. Mr. Speaker, I agree with the prayers that we need to consolidate this bursary and make education free for all. You know, bursary has been reduced to tokenism. If you support an MCA or a governor or a member of National Assembly or a women representative, Mr. Speaker, you are given bursary. Why is it that out of 656 billion that is allocated to education, we still have many children who cannot access education in this country? Those are the hard questions, Mr. Speaker, that we must ask ourselves. And that is why it is important that we need to consolidate all bursary, direct all national government administration officials to ensure 100% transition rate, Mr. Speaker, for our children in secondary schools, in primary schools, now that CPC has been changed to CBE, called a curriculum-based education, Mr. Speaker, so that everybody can access education in this country, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, this issue of bursary has been reduced and weaponized for campaign political tool, where members of National Assembly, NGAV, and governors are using it. In fact, Mr. Speaker, are you aware governors nowadays, and I don't know, Mr. Speaker, during your era whether this was possible, and when Senator Orwoba, where they want to use bursary as one of the key development achievements. While I agree human development capital is very critical, Mr. Speaker, it should not be the only yardstick that members of Council of Governors, the governors, members of National Assembly, and the government, Mr. Speaker. In my own opinion, I'm surprised there is a public participation to entrench. This is making education costly, Mr. Speaker. We must agree that the planners, Mr. Speaker, every day, every function I go to Nandi, you must meet one or two parents or a number who want support to education in terms of payment of school fees. Where did we go wrong? And I think the silver bullet in all this, Mr. Speaker, is consolidate the entire bursary fund. Make education free and compulsory education for all Kenyans, Mr. Speaker, so that it becomes easy. And that is why even I saw some people saying Senate need oversight. Then we will, Mr. Speaker, we might end up being paid representation fund, legislation fund, oversight fund, Mr. Speaker. And I want to challenge members of National Assembly, because I have seen a commentary by one of the legal minds, and I was sitting with one of the senior legal minds today during power lunch break, Mr. Speaker. And we are asking ourselves the questions Kenyans are asking. Why would you want to oversight yourself? Muganga ajigangi, allow the indulgence so that I can drive the point home and hot, Mr. Speaker, is that even in my local language, sorry, Mr. Speaker, for mixing both languages, is that Mkinyosi ajinyoi. A baba cannot shave his own head. So I'm challenging, Mr. Speaker, I'm challenging members of National Assembly that if you want to manage funds, run for 2 offices. You either run for president or run for governor. Why do you want to have your cake and eat it? Even as a Senate, there is no day we have sat and we say we want Senate Oversight Fund. In my own opinion, that fund should be given to counties or the president. Then we do our work as oversight. Mr. Speaker, for the first time, I'm in support with raila Odinga, Papa Podbeg. Mr. Speaker, because the work of member of National Assembly and the Senate is to legislate, oversight, representation, and budget making, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I don't know, you need to know whether Senator Ed has bought shoes, because the last time there were people without shoes in Migori, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, what I'm saying, Mr. Speaker, that let us be honest, Mr. Speaker. If you want to manage funds, if you want to develop, sorry, Madam Speaker, run for officers that have such funds. Why trouble Kenyans? Mr. Speaker, with the constitutional amendment, this is not the right time to amend the constitution as a country. We must be careful in this country that what we did wish, if we wanted an hybrid on prior presidential system, and that is why would we want to give bursary as politicians, just to allow political patronage, to enslave our children, Mr. Speaker, to fight to ensure our children are given, because, Mr. Speaker, and I've had the small towns in the villages, you get somebody say, so and so I did not get bursary because I didn't vote Mheshimiwa in. Mr. Speaker, we must be honest that this issue of bursary, we must consolidate, Mr. Speaker. I wish and I pray at the end of this debate on this consolidation, the Committee of Education, led by Senator Monted and members who are in this House, should come up with an amendment to the Education Act, Basic Education Act, or the education laws that we have in this country, and consolidate all the bursary, bring quantification, and I'm happy the Miracle Senator is here. I don't know whether he's still Miracle or not. Mr. Speaker, the point, so that we can consolidate all the bursary and account for 656 billion, Mr. Speaker. You know, the political formation he is in with nowadays is no longer miraculous. Mr. Speaker, and therefore, under Article 53 of the Constitution, Mr. Speaker, we must ensure that these young people, a number of them, Mr. Speaker, they cannot, like for example, in secondary, tertiary, even as we talk, Mr. Speaker, our students in KMTC, Kenya Medical Training Colleges, Mr. Speaker, they need also bursary. But how do we do it? Let us make education free and compulsory from preschool all the way to the university and colleges, so that we stop, Mr. Speaker, even higher education loan board. We collapse higher education loan board so that we don't bring discrimination as envisaged under Article 27 of the Constitution of Kenya. Because the moment children that are in public universities are given higher education loan board, yet that money is the taxpayers, including all Kenyans, yet children in private universities are not given higher education loan board, Mr. Speaker. It casts aspersion and the shadow, Mr. Speaker, of discrimination in our society, Madam Speaker. It casts aspersions on discrimination of our children that access higher educations in this republic. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of capitation, that is prayer number 3, we need also to be told, because as we talk, Madam Speaker, Kenya private sector, Kenya Secondary School Sales Association have been complaining in late capitation that is being given to either primary school or secondary schools across the country. We must calculate so that we don't need after, when that, you know, I find it untidy that after every opening of schools, you hear Kesha, you hear Primary Aids Association, you hear NAT, you hear Kupet, Madam Speaker, complaining that capitation is yet to be released. Even the worst, Madam Speaker, the other day is removal of hardship allowances. Hardship allowances, Madam Speaker. This should be the motivating factor for all public servants and also the teachers in our country. If you work in places like Mandera, and we have had opportunity of going there, where the airstrip, you land in nowhere. Madam Speaker, there is no airstrip. There is no electricity. There are only 3 generators. The generators, Madam Speaker, generator is functional. I'm told it is being switched on and off like a tamamble, Madam Speaker. And therefore, we must agree that, Madam Speaker, that the issue of hardship allowance to civil servants and teachers is very critical. For example, in Nandi, I have like 4 or 5 wards, like Terik ward, we have Chepterwai ward, Madam Speaker, we have Kapchorwa ward, we have Soba Songo, and largely part of Tindred, Madam Speaker, where because of terrain and challenges that are unique to those regions, they should at least be given what we call hardship allowances, Madam Speaker. You go to some areas like Kilifi, where poverty index is very high. A number of areas like Kerio Valley, Madam Speaker, where insecurity is there, and I know Professor Kamari is well versed with. Madam Speaker, all these places, they need motivating factor called hardship allowances. And I don't think there was lack of wisdom with the formulators of Public Service Commission that we should have hardship allowances, Madam Speaker. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, so that I can give colleagues opportunity to converse and deliberate on this matter, Madam Speaker, my clarion call to the government, to the lawmakers, to all of us, let us consolidate bursary. Let us ensure all chiefs from Nyumba Kumi, from now I'm happy the Mukasa and the Kokwet elders and the village elders will now be given token of appreciation, courtesy of President William Ruto's government. Madam Speaker, even the village elders will now be part. Anybody who wanted, if you are married, I was telling some people over the weekend, when we were burying former senior assistant chief brigade in Mgwen in Mukonya, that if you had married a village elder and you didn't have hope, there is hope now because that village elder will have salary. So if you had left your husband because he's a village elder, you should be motivated to come back. Let us now use that opportunity to ensure from Nyumba Kumi, the village elder, we now ask come to the village like my village in Kapkeben, somewhere in Mosoriat, Madam Speaker. Go and ask the local, my local assistant chief called Joshua Chirchir, ask him, why are children not going to school? And the education is free and compulsory. Then we ensure money is provided to the school. And I'm happy this is the conversation we are having in this country. Let us not use politicians to give tokenism in terms of bursary. We will create big divide. Education will be expensive, unaffordable, inaccessible. Yet under Article 53 and 55 of the Constitution of Kenya, it envisages education that is of good quality, affordable, accessible, and valuable, Madam Speaker. And therefore, we want to see more doctors like Dr. Bone Kalwale, people who are good practitioners, Madam Speaker, so that it comes into the future of giving this opportunity, Madam Speaker, number of lawyers and many other professions that we have in this republic. Madam Speaker, finally, is I hope, I would have requested the mover of the motion to amend and direct that Senator Karungo Wadhangwa, you should listen through the chair, that direct that there should be a special audit on the bursary that is being given. I'm told some members of National Assembly and governors, like my governor is notorious, he has changed Nandi from being source of champions to source of corruption, where they write a check and that check bounces, where they write a check to general that do not exist. They exist in up there, Madam Speaker. Let us do special audit. Let us be told, Madam Speaker, how many people use this money through special audit. And I think the mover of the motion, you should amend and ensure, you should stop listening to Senator Orwoba. Madam Speaker, I know she is still excited about what happened in Kisii. But you know, you should ask Senator Moses Masika Wetangula. The people you see in rallies and voters are two different things. Madam, and therefore we must amend that there should be special audit. There should be special audit.
What's your point of order?
There should be special audit.
Just hold it. Can you give Senator Chimera the microphone, please?
Oh. Madam Speaker, I rise understanding order 105, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, you know I also come from the great county of Nandi. Is a good senator from Nandi, Senator Cheragei, by association, Madam Speaker. Is a good senator of Nandi in order to allege that the governor from Nandi has been issuing bouncing checks to students from Nandi County, Madam Speaker, without any reasons to substantiate in this, Madam Speaker.
Senator Cheragei, you know that's a serious allegation. You need to substantiate. Please substantiate, and if you are not able to do that, you withdraw and apologize.
Madam Speaker,
Senator Gloria, maintain your peace. I have called Senator Cheragei to take the floor. You'll get your chance.
Madam Speaker, while I appreciate it, that's a very serious point. In our culture, it is unheard of where somebody you have given your daughter to marry to question the person who gave. But that is beside the point. I'm willing to table.
Senator you are out of order.
Madam,
There was
and
no
we might end up penalizing him
There
under
was no
customary law.
marriage. There was no marriage introduced in the point of order.
I'm coming to that point.
The status of Senator Chiralige is not in discussion under that
Madam
point
Speaker,
of order.
Madam Speaker, I'm willing to be given time to substantiate by next week. But I want to advise him, if he continues questioning people who gave her gave him the daughter, we might, under customary law, which Constitution recognizes, we might add a number of cows so that he can pay. And Senator Aaron should be whispering such a traditional
Chiralige,
obligation.
are you listening to the chair?
Yes.
You are barred from discussing his marital status because it was not part of the point of order, and we are not quite sure whether Senator Chimera is married from the Nandi County. So refrain from referring to that marital status.
Thank you. It was just on a lighter touch, Madam Speaker. So in conclusion,
you will substantiate by
next
Tuesday.
Week. Yes, yes.
Next week.
Yes.
What's your point of order, Senator?
Madam Speaker, I stand under Standing Order 101, contents of speech. 101.4. No senator shall impute improper motive to any other senator or to the member of the National Assembly. Madam Speaker, I have heard Senator Chiralige mention me, and the motive, Madam Speaker, did not look like a good motive. Talking about that I'm just excited because I don't know I went to which rally where. Madam Speaker, I would like for Senator Chiralige to clarify what he meant and if at all that was relevant on his debate. Madam Speaker, thank you.
Senator Chiralige, do you want to substantiate that bit?
Speaker, how
the point